Good morning. Well, it's got a little cold outside, so I decided to do a little work on the inside of the camper today. And what we decided to do was install a new outlet into the counter that pops up so we don't have this issue anymore of cords hanging down all over the place. Um, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just aesthetically and getting things to move around. I don't like the option of this cord hanging down from the bottom of the cabinet. So what we did today was very easily installed this little pop-up option right here. It's got 3 outlets. It's got 2 USB, which honestly probably not going to be used very much, but the outlets are the main thing here. It was incredibly easy to do. Let me tell you first, if you have no experience with electrical and aren't really sure what you're doing, take this to a professional to do. It's a very simple operation, but things can get confusing very quickly. And let me also tell you, the first thing you should do is turn off all power. I went outside and unplugged the camper and turned off the 12 volt. That's very important you do both because you'll be working in the outlet box that carries both of those power, and any kind of short, it could be damaging to your equipment in here. So just make sure you turn off your power first. And I don't just turn off the breakers outside, I unplug the cord. So that's the first tip. Be safe. Now let me tell you what we used today to do this. This little option right here was maybe $26 from Amazon. There's several different models. Some of them pop up by themselves, some of them don't. We wanted one that was going to be simple and less, the less options you have, probably the longer it's going to last. It doesn't pop up by itself. You have to pull it up, so there's no spring mechanism to break in there. This is what we wanted, and this is what we got. Maybe $26 from Amazon. All right. Tools you're going to need to do this. You're going to need a 2.5-inch drill bit, hole saw. $15 from Lowe's. I did not have one. I had to go buy one. I'll hang on to it obviously because you never know when I'm going to need another 2.5-inch bit, but it's not one of the things we brought from home when we left. Obviously, you're going to need a drill. I suggest buying yourself a handy little flashlight like this, just a few dollars from Walmart. It does the work you need it to do. Plenty of options. Bright light, you can set it on something. It's got magnets on the back that you can stick it to something if you need to. Side of the car, change a tire. It's just very handy to have, and I used it today on this. Obviously, you need a pencil to mark where you're going to drill your hole. We picked an area that was behind the sink. It's totally open back there, so there was no problem with me hitting anything else when I drilled in there. And it took me maybe 30 seconds to drill through the countertop. Just some various tools. You'll need a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. You'll need some wire strippers. You'll need a cutting tool of some sort. This is just a tool blade, and maybe some needle nose pliers if you have tight access to some things. Also, I just used, this is my Phillips screw head to remove everything off of the front here from what I did. So you just take 4 screws out of that, the cover pops off, 4 more screws, and this whole thing pulls out. Never pull this out with the power on. Always turn your power off first. Okay, so after we drilled that, I ran the wire down into our fuse box down here. Very easy to do. Once you pull it out, you'll see there are several knockouts that you can use to put a new wire through there. I stripped the wires for this back to about 10 inches so I'd have plenty of wire to move around in our fuse box. I'm being very careful. This is on right now, so I don't recommend this. But basically, inside, you're going to find inside of the plug that I cut off. I cut the plug off because we don't need it. I found 3 wires, a black, a green, which is ground. By the way, your black is always your hot, and the white, which is neutral. Now on this box right here, we had an open plug for a new breaker, which I utilized for this plug that we have up top there. It's a 15 amp Siemens plug. It is absolutely the cheapest breaker, or I'm sorry, it's a 15 amp Siemens breaker, which is absolutely the cheapest breaker you can find at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's about $6. So they run upwards of $50, $60 now. So that was a happy little find right there, that I found the $6 breaker. And like I said, it's Siemens breaker in this model of Cougar that we have. Put that in there, it works great. So what I did, I put it in there, I attached the black wire, which is hot, to the breaker. Again, the green wire, which is the ground, goes on the ground wire bar in the back there. You can see all the bare copper wires in there. That's where the ground goes. This is the neutral bar. This is where the white wire goes, and you can see all the other white wires on there. So it was a fairly easy thing to do. And what I did here is then, on my open breaker I had right there, I smeared it. I just labeled it as countertop receptacle. And then I have to just break that out of there, which allows that breaker to come through the receptacle. And we just add it, we just screw it back on right there and put the door back on, and it's done. And we have this great new receptacle up top here, instead of having to hang things from the bottom of the cabinet. And it also gives us a couple more receptacles in here that you can always use in a camper. So maybe the whole job took 30 minutes. Did it on a cold day, able to do it before the camper got cool again. So
Total.
Oh, you want the total cost on this? Maybe $40. 26 for the plug up here, $6 for the breaker, and of course another $15 for the hole saw, which I didn't have. If you've got any of this stuff, then you'll save that much money. Honestly, it maybe should have cost, $35 all told if I had a 2.5 inch hole saw, which I did not, and nobody else did either. So now I do, and that's really all there is to it. Tune in again. I'll show you our next project was going to be installing a washer and dryer in our outdoor kitchen, which we never use the outdoor kitchen, but we sure could use a washer and dryer on board. Thank you for watching.